In the heart of sunny California, in a town known for its wide, tree-lined streets and friendly faces, there lived a girl named Lily. At 5 years old, Lily had a smile that could melt glaciers and a laugh that echoed like sweet music. Her world was vibrant and full of joy, but the truest treasures in her life were her two best friends, not with 2 legs, but with 4. These weren't just any friends. They were her guardians, her playmates, and the constant, loyal witnesses to the magic of her childhood. Their names were Leo and Luna, two magnificent Pitbull terriers whose lives were a testament to the power of love and the beauty of unconditional friendship. Leo and Luna weren't just random American dogs. They were born and bred under the American sun, products of responsible breeding in Kentucky before they found their way into Lily's family when they were just tiny, velvety pod puppies. From the moment they crossed the threshold of the warm, embracing family home, they knew they were somewhere special. They were met with soft voices, gentle hands, and a love so boundless it filled every room. Their family, a loving couple who adored animals, had done their research and knew that with proper training, socialization, and an abundance of affection, pit bulls were among the most loving and loyal of breeds. They were determined to raise Leo and Luna to be shining examples of that truth, and in Lily, they found the perfect partner. The bond between Lily and the dogs was immediate and profound. As a toddler, she would curl up with them for naps, their large, warm bodies a source of immense comfort. As she grew older, they became the heroes of her imagination. In her eyes, Leo and Luna were not just dogs. They were mighty dragons guarding her castle, the backyard playhouse, swift steeds carrying her to distant lands, around the living room, and wise counselors who listened to her secrets with attentive ears and understanding wags. Their days were a tapestry woven with shared adventures. Mornings often began with a race in the expansive backyard, Lily's short legs pumping as she tried, in vain, to keep up with Leo's powerful gallop and Luna's agile grace. Then came the treasure hunt, with Leo and Luna leading the way through the neighborhood park, their noses twitching as they discovered forgotten toys, carefully sanitized by Lily's mom, shiny rocks and intriguing twigs. Lily, with a miniature magnifying glass and a serious expression, would examine their finds, much to the dogs' amusement. When the California sun reached its zenith, they would retreat to the cool shade of the patio. This was story time, when Lily would read from her favorite picture books. Even if they couldn't grasp the words, Leo and Luna understood the cadence of her voice, the warmth of her gaze, and the love that flowed from her as she shared her world with them. They would rest their heavy heads on her lap, their soulful eyes fixed on her, content just to be by her side. But the most magical time was the tea party. In the middle of the living room, Lily would set up a tiny, plastic table with colorful cups and saucers. Leo and Luna, with surprising patience and gentle dignity, would sit in miniature chairs, wearing small, festive hats Lily had fashioned for them. She would pour imaginary tea and offer them cookies, carefully broken dog treats. They would sip daintily and accept the treats with graceful acceptance, playing their parts in her enchanting world. Life was not just about playtime, of course. Leo and Luna were also guardians. On walks through the tree-lined streets, they moved with a steady, confident gait, their eyes always alert, not with aggression, but with a watchful protectiveness over their little charge. They knew which houses had the mean cats to be avoided, where the friendly mailman who always had treats worked, and which neighborhood children to avoid because they pulled tails. Not that they would ever hurt them, of course, but prevention was key. Their love was a living thing, a force that permeated the home. When Lily's father came home from a long day at work, it was Leo and Luna who would greet him with a symphony of excited whines and enthusiastic wags, their entire bodies shaking with joy. They would then lead him directly to Lily, as if to say, "The main event is here." The family dinners were always accompanied by the steady, rhythmic sound of tails thumping against the floor as the dogs patiently waited for a chance treat, always carefully approved by the parents, of course. The neighborhood knew of Lily and her lion dogs, as some affectionately called them. They were a familiar and heartwarming sight. Lily, in her colorful dresses, skip-hopping down the sidewalk, with Leo and Luna, two majestic, powerful beasts, trotting happily alongside, their tails wagging like metronomes of pure happiness. They were a living, breathing advertisement for the true nature of their breed, a rejection of the harmful stereotypes that often plague them. One summer, the family took a cross-country road trip to visit relatives in New England. It was a grand adventure for all. Leo and Luna, ever adaptable and eager for new experiences, handled the long drives with ease, their heads often out the window, ears flapping in the wind, taking in the myriad scents of the American landscape. They hiked up rolling hills, splashed in cool lakes, and met new people and dogs with wagging tails and friendly spirits. Every stop, every new place, was just another opportunity to share their joy with the world. When they returned to California, the neighborhood welcome was heartwarming. Friends and neighbors gathered on their street, bearing treats and smiles, to welcome the adventurers home. It was a testament to the love and community that surrounded them, a community that embraced Leo and Luna not as threats, but as beloved members. As Lily grew older, the nature of their friendship evolved, but the core remained unchanged. The tea parties became reading sessions for complex stories, and the treasure hunts became organized expeditions in the nearby hills. Leo and Luna were there for all of it. They were her confidants when she had bad days at school, their quiet presence a powerful antidote to any hurt. They were her champions in the backyard sports, ever ready to chase a ball or play a game of tag. In a world that could sometimes be full of uncertainty and change, Leo and Luna were the constants. They were the embodiment of loyalty, a love that knew no conditions, and a friendship that transcended language. They were American dogs, living the American dream, a dream that, in their case, was not about material wealth or fame, but about the simple, profound joy of being part of a loving family and about the extraordinary bond between a little girl and her two best friends, who happened to have 2 legs extra and a heart of pure gold. Their story was a reminder that love, in its purest form, knows no boundaries, and that sometimes the most magnificent friends are found in the unlikeliest of packages, wrapped in velvet fur and a tail that wags with the power to light up the world. Years passed, and the bond only grew deeper. One evening, as the golden California sun dipped below the horizon, Lily sat on the porch with Leo and Luna. She realized they weren't just pets, they were her soul's anchors. Together, they had proven that love and kindness can rewrite any story. In that quiet moment, surrounded by their warmth, Lily knew that no matter where life led her, her heart would always beat in rhythm with the gentle thumping of their loyal tails. This was more than a home. It was a sanctuary of pure,